This is one of our favorite subjects, music, and how it helps us connect to the other side. I'm just waiting as people kind of come in the Zoom room. I'd like to see everybody here. All right, we have a good number of people. All right, so whether you are already receiving songs from your loved ones in spirit or not, I think you'll find this interesting. If you haven't yet, you can certainly begin. And in the Facebook group and here in the group, in the chat here too, we'll drop the links to our playlist, our Supernatural Love playlist. I'm going to talk about how that came about and have suggestions for how you can do the same if you would like that. Okay, because it really helps to connect us to the spirit world, not just our loved ones, but also our guides or angels. It's just been explained to me that because they're pure emotion, and of course music is emotion, it really is that. It's not like it's informational, is it? I mean, it's not analytical. I mean, I guess you could analyze it, but really it's pure love, it's pure emotion. And let me just well, let me just go, really extol the benefits of using music to connect with your loved ones and to open us up emotionally. That's really important too. And I didn't understand that until Alan returned to me, and he made a big point of sending me songs and telling me why they were important, because he was trying to open me up emotionally because I was so shut down in my case. Now, that might not be the case for you, but certainly if you're grieving the loss of someone, you could certainly be in the throes of just feeling heavy emotion, heavy grief, which I understand. And you do need to process that. Process meaning feel it. You've got to feel your feelings to move through them. So you have to, be strong to go through that and know that on the other side of it can be certainly a sense of relief, but also you could start feeling more their presence and their love. So be gentle with yourself with that, but know that it absolutely is possible to feel this love from them that I promise you they are broadcasting to you pretty much 24/7. It's up to us to open to feel it and then trust what we're feeling. And now Alan's saying to me, yeah, that's the biggest challenge, is a lot of people just don't believe. We live in such a cynical world, not just skeptical. Okay, cynical is actually being really negative. Skeptical is like you're still curious, you're not sure, but you're still skeptical. But cynical is that you just flat out don't believe. You're just negative in your mindset and you just think, well, this is rubbish, this is crazy. And so if you believe that, then it'll be harder to have these experiences. Not saying it's impossible, because the other side is so strong that they can overcome that too. But if we wanted to have more of this free flowing, engaged relationship with them, we have to work on our belief system and be as positive as we can and open and trusting. And so if you're one of those who doubts, then that's where you got to start, like overcoming your doubt. So music can be a good way to open to that and really feel into that, because again, music, the songs that especially that they choose, that they send to us. And we'll talk a little bit about how they do that. But the songs they give us have a way of bypassing our rational mind, our physical conscious mind, our ego, and goes right to the heart. And I was stunned when Alan gave me that first song. I know I've talked about it in our group, the Groovy Kind of Love. It wasn't like that was his favorite song or my favorite song. I mean, I knew the song. I was familiar with the song. So when it started playing in my mind, I mean, literally, like I'd wake up in the morning and hear Phil Collins sing Groovy Kind of Love, like on and on, like repeating all day. I thought, oh, what is going on? Like, oh, what is this? And then I sat with it and I looked at the lyrics, and it's talking about listening to your heartbeat, listening to your breathing and watching while you're sleeping and all that. And I thought, okay, he's saying that's what he's doing, obviously. So it was easy for me to really see that was him. That wasn't hard at all, because I knew I wasn't making up that song. And I know that I'm not crazy, and you know that you're not crazy. So I don't want anybody here talking like that. Like, am I nuts? Am I cracking up? Like, if you're somebody who's level-headed, and you know that you haven't had these unusual things happen before. So if they start happening, then go with it, and just welcome it, because they'll send you more. But he's saying to me, why should we send you more if you don't even accept the first one? You don't even believe in the first one that they're sending you. So that first one, I knew that was from him. All right. But I wasn't feeling goosebumps. This is the thing. This is really the first week of his passing. So I was just feeling grief, of course, crying. And then I'd feel this love come in, and I'd go, what? Like, where'd that come from? Because I was surprised. I was expecting to feel this love and then hear the song play. So I wasn't feeling the goosebumps, but I was feeling love. And I knew that song was from him. But it wasn't like he was sending me constant songs in the beginning. He wasn't at all. He was, though, using certain songs as it started to progress to then send me these goosebumps. In the beginning, it was very subtle. Really, it wasn't like, it was just subtle, like a little bit of that, like a little flicker of a goosebump, right? And I'd go, oh, okay, that must be him. Then the more I realized that that was Alan, and I listened to music, and I would start to open up more to that. And there was one particular song, that song by Christina Perry from the Twilight series, A Thousand Years. And that song came on, and I felt this flood of goosebumps. And so I thought, okay, and I knew that was him. So later that afternoon, I deliberately turned on that song, and I felt nothing. So I was really disappointed. I thought, well, I was just making that up then. I thought, what was that about? Like, I was making that up. And then another hour later, I decided to listen to it again. And this time it was like the goosebumps just like was an avalanche of them. And I said, what the heck's going on then, Alan? Like, he goes, I wanted to show you that it's me. Because the second time, when you didn't feel anything, he said, I wasn't engaging with you. You were trying to, and that's important. Like, we got to be focused and open to the song, like paying attention to the song, obviously. But it's not just me doing it. He wanted to show me that I wasn't creating the goosebumps. And he says, you see, because you tried. I go, yeah, I did. Because I thought, wait a minute, I had felt goosebumps earlier. Like, what happened? And he says, so you're reaching for it, but you couldn't find it because I was deliberately not engaging with you. But now I am. The third time I was, right? So I thought, oh, okay. And then the more I understood his way of connecting with me, both communicating with me through the lyrics, but a lot of times I don't even look at the lyrics. That's just me. A lot of people who are communicating with their loved ones through music do listen to the lyrics. They pay close attention to that. And I'm not saying not to do that. I'm just saying that's just not what I was doing. I was more really feeling the energy, because I need to do that, because I'm not as strongly clairsentient as some of you. So I knew instinctively that, okay, I need to really feel this, not so much analyze the lyrics or think so much about that, but just go into the whole experience. And I found that it just made me more emotional. It really opened my heart. It seemed like I felt more alive. And he said, I'm bringing you back to life because you were shut down for so long through our marriage, and especially the last few years when he was sick. So I had to come back to life, and that took time. It wasn't like it happened overnight. I mean, I don't know exactly how long, but the songs started to come through different ways. Sometimes it came through people. Like one occasion I remember, I know a lot of it came through Maria, my friend Maria, who we wrote about in our book, who is our soul daughter, who Alan called Pumpkin one morning when I was talking to her. And I said, why are you giving me the word pumpkin? And he was referring to Maria. And she said that was the nickname her mother had for her when she was a child. And it didn't even dawn on me that meant she was like my soul daughter, right? I'm so dense. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And Alan goes later, like, duh, like, didn't you get it? That's why you're so close to each other. So anyway, he's given songs to Maria a couple times. One time, which was funny, I was complaining to him because he had written these beautiful wedding vows. He gave them to Maria for our wedding, and they were amazing. And after that, I said, well, I'd love for you to write me a love letter. Like, why can't you wrote these beautiful vows? Can't you write me a love letter? So I was bugging him, really being a brat about it. Like, why don't you write me a love letter? It's not like you don't have somebody who'll take dictation, kind of indicating Maria. And I kept bugging him. And then one morning, she sent me this song. And I think it was from, oh God, what's his name? I think it's Ben Rector. And it's a song titled, I've Never Known a Love Like This Before. And the reason the song was really fitting, not just the lyrics of the song, but the video on YouTube has the lyrics coming out of an envelope like it was writing writing letters. And I realized, oh, this is his love letter to me. It's his song. Like, he found this YouTube video with the lyrics of that song on it. And I said, well, that is really sneaky. You're so lazy, but okay, I'll take that. I'll take that song. So that was another way he gave me a song. Another one in the book you guys are familiar with, he sent me the song Come What May from the movie Moulin Rouge, which he knew was one of my favorite movies. And it wasn't like that song was my favorite. I mean, the movie was, but we had our first argument, or at least I had my first like meltdown, and I was really upset. And he'd never seen me that upset before that time. So he was freaking out. And when I kind of rolled over in the morning and picked up my phone to check on our group to see what's going on, and I saw that Maria had posted that song, which she had never done before. She never shared a song to the group. So I thought, what is this song? And I looked at it, and on the first, I didn't even register what song it was. I just hit the play button on the YouTube video. And the first note, I started to cry. I didn't even know what the song was. I just started bursting into tears. And I thought, what is this song? And at the end of it, I said to him, you gave me this song. He says, yes, I had to do something. I needed you to know that no matter what happens, I'm here. Like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I'm here. And that just shifted a lot of things for us. And to this day, now that was almost probably at least I don't know, going on maybe 2.5 years now, that song that he gave to me. I still, when I hear that song, goosebumps. Like, almost any of those songs on our playlist that we're going to be dropping in the Facebook group, and also here in the chat at songs from the playlist that you can find on we have a Spotify list and a YouTube list too of our playlist. But any of those songs, if I'm in, as long as I'm in the right state, because obviously if I'm distracted, if I'm just, sitting around thinking of something else, it's not going to have the same reaction for me. But when I'm relaxed and listening to the music, I'll get wave upon wave of goosebumps. It'll be like endless. Sometimes it'll be really heightened, and if I really get into the song, if I kind of start singing that back to Alan, oh my God, it's it's literally almost like swooning. Okay. It's that intense, but it didn't start out that way. It would be subtle. Then it started getting stronger. He's saying, because I was getting more emotionally open and I was more receptive to that, and I was feeling my feelings. And as I did that, then I would just feel more deeply, and I feel his love and his presence. So we are big believers and proponents of you focusing on feeling the presence of your loved ones and feeling the emotion, the love that they're sending to you, because I promise you they are. Focusing on that first, the other things will come in, like hearing them clairaudiently, seeing them clairvoyantly. That usually, not always, usually takes a little more time to develop. But I constantly tell people, focus on feeling their love, because feeling that their presence and that love is what's going to heal you and convince you that they're here, because the other things like seeing them, trust me, I've seen Alan in different ways. While it's amazing, that doesn't give me the, I want to say, the visceral experience of his love, which is really what we're here for. We're not just here to see something. Let that be kind of the final piece, if you will. Focus on feeling their love, because he's telling me that's fairly easy for most people to do. And if you're finding difficulty, it would mean that you're emotionally shut down. So you just need to process, open up, process your feelings, let whatever upset, resentment, if you still have any toward your partner or anybody else in your life, right? Like, let yourself be comfortable with your emotions. So if you can do that, some people have an easier time than others, but if you're emotionally blocked, then yeah, it's going to be a little harder to feel their love. But that was showing me. But don't worry, they're kind of banging on the door, like, let me in, let me in. I want to love you. I want to love you. So if you just meet them halfway, even say, okay, I'm sit here and listen to this song, whether it's a song from our playlist to get you started, or go online through your favorite music channel. It could be YouTube for sure, like random like music videos, right? That's one way to do it. Just look for that. Or if you subscribe to, Apple Music or one of those music services, or Spotify, you could just listen to random songs and see if your loved ones start communicating to you through certain music that you hear. Certainly you could use songs that you already loved, that you both loved. Now, don't think that in order to do this, you have to be somebody that has you or your partner, or both of you, have to be people that were always into music. Okay, because believe it or not, Alan and I weren't really, I was when I was younger, and so was he, but during our marriage for 30 years or so, we weren't really into music. We were so shut down. That's our story, okay? You were probably different. But if you're somebody that wasn't really into listening to music, he's saying you can change. like life is for growth, life is for learning, life is for changing. So try it out. What do you have to lose? It doesn't matter. You don't have to think, well, but my partner never listened to music when he was with me. Like I said, neither did Alan. He did like music, like he really loved Pavarotti, for example. He loved opera, but he didn't really listen to it when we were together. So I just knew that he loved it when I met him, and then he kind of dropped it. He didn't really continue that. So whether or not you or your partner are real big fans of music, give it a try. Okay, because it is the easiest way for them to transmit their love and also to give us messages. And I know a lot of people are commenting in the chat here, as you guys can read if you're in the chat, their different experiences. Yeah, like Lisa's saying, like, keep in mind that if you hear a song and the lyrics are an exact match to you, to know that it isn't necessarily all the lyrics. That's right. It could be some of the lyrics. It could be the general theme of the song. Don't get so hung up on that. Like, this one, two lines do not match us or something. Like, don't worry about it. What is the overall theme of it? What's the overall message of it? And like I said, with me, I don't often like listen to or look at all the lyrics. I just listen to the song and how it makes me feel. Okay. So I love you guys sharing, like Patricia saying, "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey came on the radio 18 times. I just started counting in 3 weeks after he passed. Every time I turned the car on or went to turn off, major chills. But like Pam said, I can play it and get nothing. But when he plays it, waves of chills, right? When they come in, match it. And this is what the beauty of it. So we know that we're not making it up. It's like they have to come in and join us. As he told me, we're co-creating it. So we have to be paying attention, obviously, because if we're oblivious, we're not going to be co-creating, right? But if we are co-creating and they're coming through, then we feel that those chills, those goosebumps. But they can send that to anybody. And I give an example that had nothing to do with music. I was teaching a class. This was a couple of years ago, just when COVID kind of lifted a bit, and people here in Oahu were getting together more. And I was invited to teach a class in person. It was a small class because we were still trying to keep distance, social distancing. So it was about 6 people in this small room, and they're spaced apart. And I'm sharing my story about Alan. And all of a sudden, everybody at the same time goes, "Oh my God, do you feel those goosebumps?" They were all getting chills coming through their bodies. And so one gal goes, "Well, maybe it's air conditioning." And I go, "No, all of you having the same experience at one time." And the one gal was a medium. She goes, "Oh, it's Alan. For sure, it's Alan." So he was just making his presence known. Now, I didn't feel the goosebumps. I didn't. But they, like, all at the same time said, "Oh my God, yeah, this is him." It's just wave after wave after wave. So they can definitely do that. And I've had proof of that besides myself. Okay. So they will do things like you get in the car and a random song will come on, and this is their one way of them sending you a song. Alan did that to me recently when I went to the doctor about something he knew I was worried about. Not that anything bad really happened, but he knew that I was worried about something. And the song came on that I didn't particularly like. And I shared it in the group at that time. And the song was by Aerosmith. "Don't Want to Miss a Thing." I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith from the movie Armageddon. And that song came on, and I wasn't expecting to feel anything because not my favorite song. And I was started to feel this energy come in, and I was started crying spontaneously. I said, "What the heck?" I don't even like this song. He goes, "Would you just listen to the song?" And so I could feel this intense waves of love coming through. And he said, I brought that on for you to listen to because I need you to know what this song is saying. So they will do that spontaneously like that, like just through you just having the radio station on and some song comes on. It won't always happen. Well, he's saying for some of you, it might always happen, but it doesn't always happen for me. But he says it's easy for them to manipulate anything that has to do with electricity, that has to do with energy. Okay, so you might wonder, well, how did they make that song come on? And he says, well, it doesn't have to come on, let's say, a radio station, because music is being broadcasted throughout the world at different times. Let's just say they can snatch that song somewhere and put that through your radio receiver, in your car, whatever it is. And another time that Alan did that to me was using my AirPods. A lot of you have AirPods, and I had just taken them out to put them in my ear. I didn't have any device on. I didn't have my phone music on. I didn't do anything but put them in my ear. I wasn't even sure what I was going to do yet. I was thinking of going on the computer, actually, put them on my ear, and the song was playing. The song Too Much Heaven by the Bee Gees, which was a song he gave me for our anniversary. So the song was playing, and I thought, this is weird. I knew it must be him because it was a song. I said, well, how are you doing this? Because I looked everywhere. My computer wasn't on, my iPad wasn't on, my phone wasn't playing the music app. It was nothing was on. And at the end of the song, some horrible metal rock song came on. I don't even know what it was, that made my ears literally like screech. I mean, it was just terrible. And I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. It was like, I took the things out of my ears, it kept playing. I could hear them coming through, and they're not supposed to do that, right? The song kept coming through the AirPods and it wouldn't stop. So I finally just said, hey, this enough of that. I don't want to hear this song anymore. Would you cut it out? And immediately it just stopped. It just stopped. Okay. So he's saying now, he says he was experimenting. Like, can I do that? Okay, I can do that. Check that off the list. Check that. Okay, got it. So they're testing. He says sometimes they don't know whether they can do that or not. So they'll be trying different things and having fun with that. He hasn't done that again. He says he knows that I don't particularly enjoy that and that I don't need to have that proof. Not that I needed it then either. He says that he was just having fun. And for me, I actually got over the need for proof pretty, well, not I want to say early on, but I guess after the first year and a half, because I was having so much conversation with him that I realized that that was the only proof I really needed, was that. And then the feeling of his presence, the feeling of his energy and his love, which I was feeling. And he says, he's saying to me, I was feeling his love more easily because I was listening to our songs every day. Like there is not a day that has ever gone by that I have not listened to most, if not all, of our playlist. And the playlist that we're going to drop a link to is huge. And that whole playlist, that if you want to go check out, which is on Spotify, it's not like that whole playlist I have on my phone right now. I've kind of edited down to some that are my favorites. So there may be, I don't know, the playlist I have right now probably lasts, if I really played it, like 8 hours, which is still long, but I don't play that whole thing. I actually have a smaller one that I listen to, and that one will take probably an hour and a half. So I kind of bounce around from different playlists. But when I listen to our music, I really feel Alan come in. I mean, it gets stronger. I still blows my mind. It gets stronger every day. And I'll feel his joy. I feel this. It's hard to describe. And I'm sure those of you who are having these same experiences with music or having a little, a little different experience, right? Because we're all different. But unlike Donna's saying, I know she and her husband Les were actually did music, played and sung music. So music is a big part of their lives. So yeah, so she has a lot of, so it's easy for Donna to connect to Les through songs and music. But yeah, so if any of you are sitting on the fence about this, haven't done this, so I hope you'll start either listening to our playlist and seeing if some of those songs resonate with you and your loved ones, whether your loved one doesn't matter if that's a partner or a parent, a friend, a child. Like music is a way, Alan says, that they more easily connect with us and communicate. And let me see what he's saying. He's saying that when we listen to music, we're really communing with them emotionally through that song. Okay, because we're not in our head conscious mind anymore. We're going into our heart space. And he says, and that's where we need to be if we really want to connect and communicate with them, not in our conscious logical mind. I mean, okay, it's like you cannot not think. I mean, I'm not telling you, you're supposed to stop thinking because that's impossible. But we want to be less consciously thinking and more in a feeling state, more in that emotional feeling state, more receptive. Because he's saying to me that is communication when they're transmitting this love, affection, and he's saying to me, you will get messages too coming through the music, but it won't be coming from your conscious logical thinking. It'll be coming from them impressing a message or an idea to you. Does that make sense? So Maria just dropped the YouTube playlist here in the Zoom chat, and we'll have it in the Facebook group too. And I am going to post in the next few days some of the songs from that playlist, the YouTube videos from some of that playlist, and so that you guys can like feel into that, like how does that resonate with you? Because one thing he's telling me, one thing I've really seen, is that the reason a lot of you identify with our story, even though, of course, you're not psychic mediums, you didn't live in Hawaii, and some of the things we went through are very, unique to us. But the story, the challenges can be the same. Like the stories that the struggles some of you had with your partners were the same as what I had with Alan. And really, we're all one. So when I tune into a couple in love through the veil, okay, I identify with all of you because we are all in this together. There is no like me separate from you. And so when I witness this beautiful love between any two souls, it touches me, it uplifts me. I'm part of that. How could I not be? I'm connected to everybody in this world, or in the universe for that matter. So it all relates to me. And what I happens to me relates to you too on some level, maybe not on every level, but on the levels that count when we're talking about love. So it's a beautiful thing to witness that in myself and in others, to see that same opening, that same connection happening. And lately I've been really just amazed at the degree to which the other side is doing its darndest to come through and tell people, hey, we're here. Like, and you're not imagining it, and we're part of your world. We're not separate. Unless you believe you're separate, then you create that. So the solution is to believe that we're one with them, because that's actually the truth. So let me just see, is anybody, a lot of you were dropping amazing comments about your own connections. Let me just see what we have here. Oh, Danny says, love to send music to Rich when I'm driving and a song comes on from a group that he loved, but I didn't like. Oh, like he liked the Doors and Creedence Clearwater, and maybe you didn't. So you'll leave it on instead of changing the channel and tell him the song is for you, babe. Right. They love, oh, Alan's saying they love that. They love it when we go out of our way for them. I mean, they want to go out of their way for us too. Don't get me wrong. He says they'll turn cartwheels if they can or have to send us their love. But oh boy, do they love it when we kind of return the favor, like when we go out of our way to like eat their favorite foods or play their favorite music and do that kind of thing. Oh yeah. So Lisa says our heart space can open up communication for sure. Music can help open that up, and the momentum of communication can be created in that moment. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Please know that spirit communication generally is subtle. It is subtle. So they're not going to hit you over the head. Well, sometimes they will if they really get your attention, if it's important. But normally he's saying to me, they don't want to do that. They want you to live your life in a seamless way. You don't want to be jarring and feeling like, oh, my loved one on the other side is screaming at me or something. He says, if you really need that, okay, well, maybe we can do that for a while, but that's not really the way you want to live. So being in your heart, listening to music, and if this is your first time with it, then choose a song that is your favorite. Okay. Maybe if it's a favorite of your loved one that you like too, that's fine. But if it's a song that you love, or maybe if that just spontaneously comes to your mind, then play that. Ask them to listen to it with you, call them to you, and just sit there listening to the music and see what happens. Don't go necessarily expecting to feel goosebumps. You might, but don't go expecting anything but to just feel their love. And also what I want to add is express and share your love. I do that, and I was doing that from the beginning, actually. I would actually sing songs to Alan that I loved. One of the songs that I would sing, like lip sync, kind of sing a bit, because kind of half sing it, half lip sync it. One of the songs that I would sing to him a lot with all the passion I could muster was Michael Jackson's song, I Can't Stop Loving You. So I remember that. I remember singing that to him and just saying that I couldn't stop loving him, and just feeling this energy just move through me that was so powerful. It wasn't one that he chose for me. It was one that I chose for him. And I would sing that to him, and I'd feel his love come in. And even now when I listen to that song, I listen to that song every day, and I still feel goosebumps from him. But I'm was definitely broadcasting my love to him. So if you can do that, that will open you up too. Not just, and I understand we want to feel their love, but they want to feel it too. So I do everything I can to project my love. And in so doing, I know what's happening is I'm opening my heart even more, because I'm letting all that love out and sending that to him and saying, this is how much I love you. This is how much I care. And that is only going to open us up more. That's only going to increase the love that you can feel in return. So I encourage you to do that. He just reminded me that I totally forgot. He said he was so blown away when I started doing that, like the first, I don't know, the first few weeks. That was a song that I always liked before I met Alan, and I had forgotten about it. And then when he passed, just popped into my mind. I know it wasn't from him. I think it was from my own higher self or my guides. And I said, "Oh yeah, I really like that song." So I started just singing that to him. Like I can't stop loving you. I'll never stop loving you. And in the lyrics, they even talk about angels or something in that song. So find a song that you love, that you want to give to your loved one, and see how that goes for you, because I promise you they appreciate that. Oh yeah, Danny says she loves singing songs to you. Yeah, see, and that's that. I love that you're doing that, Danny. And I still do that, or sing along to the playlist songs. Like I'll be singing that to Alan. Yeah, and so some of the songs on the playlist, a couple of them are songs actually that I chose for him. And I will get more into that. But really, it works both ways. He's saying whatever songs we love that we're singing to them, he says, we're singing it right back at you. Okay. So experiences, this is really, again, I want to emphasize it's a co-creative experience. It's not just one-sided. And in fact, spirit communication should not be one-sided. We should not be sitting here thinking, well, when are they sending me a sign? I know you want signs. A lot of you want signs, but it's interactive. The universe is interactive. Spirit communication is interactive too. So what are you going to send out and then receive? Send and receive, because you get back what you put out. That's one of the laws of the universe. It is. You get back what you put out. So if you broadcast love, you say, I love you, I'm here for you, you're going to get that back. So it's not just, okay, prove to me you're here, give me a message. I want to feel your love. Trust me, they want to give you all of that. I promise you. But it's also what do you want? What can I give to you? How can I feel my love for you and direct that to you? And he's saying to me, even though they can read our thoughts, because they can, he says it still means a lot when we actually say what we mean directly to them. Okay, directly to them, to express it, to say it in words, to say it in writing, to say it silently out loud, to express it, not just say, well, he knows what I'm thinking. I don't have to, say anything. He knows that I love him. That was a source. That's a source of a lot of problems in relationships right now, or in some of our relationships with them, right? That we, like me, I knew Alan loved me. He gave up his life in England to move to Hawaii to be with me. I wasn't lost on me that this man was in love with me, but it didn't hold up for long because he wasn't expressing it. He wasn't showing it. He was just kind of holding it inside. He says he really was like a miser. Like he's showing me himself like as Scrooge in the Dickens Christmas Carol, right? But I used to tease him. I said, you kind of do look like Scrooge. Because he had these bushy eyebrows and he could look like Fagin in that Oliver Twist, movie or story. And he said he just hung on tight. He was just afraid to open up. And so how many people are like that? They're not really letting their love out. They're not expressing it. They're tentative with it, but they feel it. So I could feel that he loved me, but it felt like it was locked up in a bank vault. I couldn't get to it. I couldn't get to the treasure. I just knew it was there. And I knew that he would only love me. I knew that. I knew he would never fool around on me. He never did. I knew that I owned his heart. I knew that. But what good is that if the person isn't demonstrating it, isn't saying, I love you, isn't showing they love you, isn't taking some opportunities to demonstrate it, right? Well, like, what good is that? So he's saying we don't need to feel bad about not demonstrating that to them, but he's saying, but they do love and appreciate that. But they know that we love them. So they wouldn't put pressure on us and say, hey, why aren't you showing me your love? He says, that was the last thing they'd ever want to do, is put pressure on any of us, because they know that many of us are grieving and it's hard. So they're not going to be complaining, saying, hey, when are you going to tell me you love me? he says, no, 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 that please don't take it that way at all. But just know that when you do express it, that like, oh my, that they're just like over the moon. Sherry's saying, I make up silly songs and sometimes sing off tune. It makes me laugh, and I know he does too. I also add my affirmations. Great. Yeah. In our academy, we do a lot on affirmations. I'm helping everybody to manifest their relationship through the veil, among other things, through affirmation. We do that a lot. So yeah, actually setting your affirmations to music is a great way to affirm and manifest. So we need to talk about that in the academy, but that's a powerful way to do that. Set your affirmation to some song that you like, or make up your own song for that matter, and sing it, because it's more fun that way, and you're more likely to affirm your desire in that way. So that's cool. Love that. Okay, I might not be able to get through everybody's questions here, but all right. Okay, let me see. Is that Lisa? Is that how, am I saying your name right? Or Lisa? I was going through a difficult time of really doubting if Dave wanted to continue a relationship with me through the veil. And I told him I needed to know for sure. I asked him if he knows Alan. I heard him say no. So I told him to please seek Alan out and he could help him. And the next day or two, I suddenly started hearing Open Arms by Journey over and over in my head out of the blue. I went to YouTube and listened to it, and I was amazed that every lyric applied. I had the strong feeling that Alan helped him find the song. I asked him then if he had met Alan, and he said yes. And Alan's saying, yes, he has met Dave. Okay. And he this is not the first time that Alan has helped someone in the spirit world find a song for their loved one. He's done that a lot. And I've heard of many people have told me that. So now, just because Dave didn't, in the beginning, didn't know Alan, I promise you, Alan was aware of Dave. He is aware of everybody in the group. I mean, okay, telling me everybody, okay? In the early days, I'd have people telling me that they had seen him. But as far as your loved ones on the other side, he says he is aware of every one of them without exception. They may not necessarily be aware of him yet, but if they ask, to connect with them, he will. But he's saying, I'll get to them. That's his job. I mean, as unusual as it may sound, as crazy it may sound, okay, Lisa, okay. It's okay. You say your name, Lisa. All right, Lisa, with it. Okay, I got it. I'm just saying, I hope Alan is friends with them. He's friends with all of your loved ones in the spirit world. Why would they not be friends, right? This was his agreement that he would help anybody who, in body or not in a body, who belonged to our group. He said he would help them. And certainly especially helps everybody in the academy, where we can go deeper. Oh, he's saying, but he helps everyone equally, but in the academy, he's saying, yeah, there's more you can do, because we've laid a foundation of understanding, and you're constantly being coached. Like, because, this, what we do here once a week he says, is not enough. Just scratches the surface, what he's showing me, scratches the surface. So I just want to close with, encouraging you to listen to music and know that I promise you, they're talking to you all the time. If you only understood how easy it is for spirit to put thoughts in your head, you might even be a little unnerved by it. You shouldn't be, because it's only for the good, only for your good. But they're constantly giving ideas, suggestions, giving you a little impulse to do something. The spirit world has done this from the beginning of this world. Okay, he's saying that was the agreement. The spirit world created the physical world. That's why this happens. The spiritual world does a lot of things in the physical world, is responsible for certain things happening. there isn't it, they are engaged in it. We just don't see it. Okay. But people who are mystics and some mediums do understand this. So they've always been very involved in the physical world. Why wouldn't they, since they created it? They did. Non-physical creates the physical. So that's why they are talking to everybody, and they're talking to you more often than not. So if you just trust and believe, listen to the songs that come up. If they trigger an emotional response, start to tune in. Okay, is this from my loved one? And ask for another sign if you need to. It's like, all right, play that song again sometime. Maybe it'll play right away. Maybe it'll play the next day, and maybe you'll have a response. Just experiment with this. Go with this. But know that they are with you. Okay, they are with you. And they're doing their best to come through and support, help, guide, and even heal us. The other side can heal us physically. They have done that again from the beginning of time. Now, some people's conditions, they're not meant to recover from, because maybe there's something they need to experience from that condition, or maybe it's simply their time to transition. But the other side, he says they always do what they can. Always. If you ask for it, he says they can do more. When you ask for help from the other side, they can always do more. But even if you don't ask for help, they do everything they can. But really, all healing is self-healing. So they're basically helping us heal ourselves. Yeah, as Marie reminds us, Archangel is a job description, not a title. So yeah, Alan says when he told me that he was an Archangel, and I couldn't believe that. And then when he told me that I was one too, and I said, what? And it wasn't until my friend Swati says, like, yeah, she finally said, okay, I'll just tell you, yeah, you are one. She didn't want to tell me right away. So Alan will always do whatever he can for your loved ones on your side. And if you meet them halfway by just trusting, being open, believing, understanding that this is real, stop listening to the people who tell you it's not, like they don't know what they're talking about. It really is important that you stay with people of like mind who support this, like people here in the group, and just persevere, persist, just keep talking to them, listen. He says, don't just talk all the time, listen. Sometimes the message will come very subtly, like through some other like surprising source or direction. So, but just know that they are there and they're always doing all they can to love and support you. Oh, before we go, almost didn't get to talk about this. So we are this Sunday going to be doing a special Zoom event with our friend Sean Lether. Some of you are from Sean's group, Life After Death, NDE, Near Death Experience group. That is, God, I think the group almost has about 200,000 people in it. And that's grown really explosively in the past month or so. But Sean and I are going to team up to do Zoom, and he's going to talk about the experiences he's had with seeing his mother who passed away. When she passed away, she appeared to him in the physical, like 3D. And she's been part of his life ever since. She returned to be the mother that she failed to be when he was growing up. She was actually very abusive to him. So she came back to him and said she wanted to love and support and help him. And he's going to share how she does that like every day. So we love talking about our experiences together because he offers a different perspective than I do, because he's talking about his mother, who is part of his life every day. And I'm talking about, of course, Alan, my husband, who's part of my life every day, to show people that both things are possible and what they can do for us. The things that his mom has done for him have been amazing. She also uses music. So he's going to talk about that, how his mom has given him songs. And it's in an unusual way. I'll let him explain it. So you got to come on Sunday to hear it, but it's a really different way she has of using songs when he's like shopping in Target. And a song will come on the intercom and you'll go, he knows of, it's like the energy in the place changes. And he knows it's his mother. I'll let him tell the whole story, but it's her way of getting his attention is through the music. So it's quite amazing. And of course, Sean has had several near-death experiences. So he knows what that the other side is like. And I've had a spiritually transformative experience, which changed me, which I didn't die technically, but I went through an awakening. And by the way, in case for those of you who don't know, when you learn spirit communication the way that we're teaching it to you, that leads to a spiritually transformative experience. Okay. I completely forgot that until Sean pointed that out to me. He said spirit communication is a form of an STE, spiritually transformative experience. So it can change you in a profound way, open you up, put you on your spiritual path, if you choose to truly dive into it. And of course that makes sense, right? Because you're connecting to your loved one in the spirit world, you're going to go through your own awakening. You're going to have to, if you really want to have the most incredible, deepest relationship with them. You could keep it shallow. I know some people who have, I won't say who, kind of more like shallow. I don't want to make it sound like that's bad. I'm just saying those people are not ready to really work on their issues. They're just keeping it at a certain comfort level. But if you want the most profound experience with them, embrace this as a part of your awakening, because your loved one is here to lead you to that. They want that for us because they know that that will bring us joy and fulfillment while we're still here, and we can still be with them through the veil. So why wouldn't you want it all? Why would you settle for just this partial connection that is still, you know, kind of more bittersweet than sweet, you know, that where it's still frustrating to you? I promise you, you can get to this place where, yeah, you miss them physically, but you have so much more experiences with them, and you feel their love and their presence so intensely that it's not, I don't know, it's extraordinary. I don't know that I would change anything. Of course, if Alan could be here, that's what I would change, but I can't ask for it to be better. I just can't imagine it being better than what it is now, except if he was here physically. So barring that, then I'd say this is incredible, incredible. And your lives can be incredible. And they want you to have that. So they're here for that. Okay, so Maria's dropped the link to the Zoom event that you have to register for with me and Sean. It's going to be at 1 o'clock Hawaii time on this Sunday, which is 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Central, and 7 p.m. Eastern. I got that right. And so you have to register for it. Okay, you can't just click on that link and get to it. You have to register for it. So check your email for the Zoom link. If for some reason you can't find it in any of your folders, register again. Sometimes it happens for people. Yeah, I know, Dawn, it's late for you, but don't worry. I'm gonna put the replay in the group. I'll find a way to put in the group or get it into the Academy for sure, so that you guys can watch it. So, but join us live if you can on Sunday. Yeah, you can watch it. So if anybody is up late, you can watch it if you're in Europe. Yeah, have a great rest of your week, everybody. And I'll be dropping some of those YouTube links to our playlist in the group, just so you guys check it out and see what you feel when you hear the music. This is a good exercise for calling your loved ones to you and saying, okay, let's listen to this together. Let me see if I can feel you. Do you like this song? Does this speak to what you want to say to me, right? You can engage with them and see what comes. Oh, okay. I don't know. I think Alan's going to be behind this. He likes to be the DJ anyway. He says, okay, I'm going to get their loved ones together on the other side and see if they will come through when you listen to those music. So we'll be posting some of our songs for you guys to listen to. All right. So thanks for tuning in. Love to all of you. Have a great week. We'll see you next time. Okay. Try to join us on Sunday. It'll be fun. I promise you it'll be fun. And if you want to share your own stories of connecting with your partners on the other side, we'll have some of you like speak. Maybe not all of you, but some of you. Okay. All right. Bye-bye now. Love to all of you. Take care.